Sugarcane is one of the world's most important crops, responsible for producing nearly 80% of the globe's sugar and fueling entire economies in tropical regions. Every year, farmers around the world harvest an astonishing 1.9 billion tons of sugarcane, a feat that is made possible by a combination of agricultural expertise, innovative technology, and relentless hard work. The journey from planting to harvest is a story of growth, adaptation, and ingenuity, and the way modern farmers harness machines to collect this vast quantity of cane is nothing short of remarkable. The story of sugarcane begins in the fields, where the climate and soil must be just right. Sugarcane thrives in warm, sunny environments with abundant rainfall, and so it is primarily grown in countries like Brazil, India, China, Thailand, and Australia. The process starts with careful land preparation. Farmers plow and till the soil, ensuring it is loose and aerated so that the cane's roots can penetrate deeply. They often enrich the soil with organic matter and nutrients to support vigorous growth. Once the land is ready, sugarcane is planted using pieces of mature stalk known as sets, which contain buds that will sprout and grow into new plants. Planting can be done manually or with mechanical planters, depending on the scale of the operation. In large commercial farms, machines carefully lay the cuttings in neat rows, ensuring optimal spacing for sunlight and airflow. It's a process that demands precision because overcrowding can lead to competition for nutrients and increased susceptibility to pests and diseases. After planting, the fields are irrigated if necessary, and the waiting game begins. Sugarcane is a perennial grass, and its growth cycle typically takes between 10 months and 2 years, depending on the climate and variety. Throughout this period, farmers monitor the crop closely, managing weeds, applying fertilizers, and protecting the plants from pests and diseases. Integrated pest management strategies are often employed, using a combination of biological controls, chemical treatments, and careful monitoring to minimize damage while safeguarding the environment. As the cane grows, it forms tall, thick stalks, sometimes reaching heights of over 3 meters. The stalks store sucrose, which is the main source of sugar extracted from the crop. When the cane matures, its leaves begin to yellow, and the stalks swell with juice, a sign that harvest time is near. Timing is crucial. If harvested too early, the sugar content will be low. Too late, and the sucrose may begin to degrade. Traditionally, harvesting sugarcane was a labor-intensive process, with teams of workers using machetes to cut the stalks by hand. It was back-breaking work, often conducted in searing heat, and required immense skill and endurance. But as demand for sugar skyrocketed and farms expanded, the need for more efficient methods became clear. Enter the age of mechanized harvesting, a revolution that transformed the industry and made it possible to collect billions of tons each year. Modern sugarcane harvesters are marvels of engineering, combining speed, precision, and power. These machines are typically large, self-propelled vehicles equipped with a series of specialized components designed to cut, collect, and process cane in a single pass. At the front of the harvester are rotary cutting blades, which slice through the thick stalks close to the ground. The design of these blades is critical. They must be sharp enough to make clean cuts, minimizing damage to the plant and ensuring that as much juice as possible is preserved. As the blades sever the cane, a series of rollers and conveyors feed the stalks into the body of the machine. Inside, the cane is chopped into uniform segments, usually about 20 to 30 centimeters long, small enough to be easily transported and processed, but large enough to retain their valuable juice. The harvester separates the cane from unwanted material, such as leaves and tops, using powerful fans and sieves. This material, known as trash, is either returned to the field as mulch to improve soil health or collected for use as biofuel. The processed cane is then transferred via a conveyor belt to a waiting trailer or truck, which moves alongside the harvester. In the largest operations, fleets of these vehicles work in tandem, ensuring that the harvest proceeds smoothly and efficiently. The coordination required is impressive, with drivers continuously adjusting their speed and position to keep up with the harvester and prevent any downtime. Mechanized harvesters can collect upwards of 100 tons of cane per day, far surpassing what could be achieved by hand. In countries like Brazil, Where sugarcane is grown on an industrial scale, these machines are responsible for harvesting vast fields that stretch as far as the eye can see. The efficiency of mechanization has allowed farmers to meet global demand while reducing labor costs and improving safety. But harvesting is only part of the story. Once the cane is collected, it must be transported quickly to processing mills, where the sucrose is extracted before it begins to deteriorate. Timing is critical. Sugarcane starts to lose its sugar content within hours of being cut, so logistics play a vital role in ensuring quality. Trucks loaded with freshly cut cane race to the mills, where the stalks are crushed to release the juice. This juice is then purified, concentrated, and crystallized to produce raw sugar, which can be further refined for use in food and beverages. Growing and harvesting sugarcane on such a massive scale presents numerous challenges. Farmers must contend with unpredictable weather, fluctuating market prices, and the constant threat of pests and disease. To maximize yields, many turn to precision agriculture, using satellite imagery, drones, and soil sensors to monitor crop health and optimize inputs. Data-driven decision-making has become a cornerstone of modern sugarcane farming, allowing producers to anticipate problems, fine-tune irrigation and fertilization, and improve overall productivity. Sustainability is also increasingly important. Sugarcane is a thirsty crop, requiring significant amounts of water, and its cultivation can have profound impacts on the environment. Leading producers are adopting practices to minimize these effects, such as using drip irrigation to conserve water, rotating crops to maintain soil fertility, and reducing the use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers. In some regions, sugarcane residues are used to generate electricity, reducing reliance on fossil fuels and lowering the carbon footprint of production. Still, even with these advancements, sugarcane harvesting remains a race against time and the elements. Fields must be cleared before the onset of the rainy season, which can render roads impassable and damage the crop. In regions prone to hurricanes or cyclones, farmers monitor weather forecasts closely, sometimes accelerating harvests to avoid catastrophic losses. The machines themselves require constant maintenance. Blades must be sharpened, engines tuned, and hydraulics checked to ensure peak performance. The human element remains essential. Skilled operators are needed to drive harvesters, troubleshoot problems, and ensure that the machines run smoothly. Teams of mechanics and support staff work around the clock during the harvest season, ready to repair equipment and keep the operation moving. In many countries, sugarcane farming is a family affair, with generations working together to plant, tend, and harvest the crop. As the fields are cleared, the landscape is transformed. Rows of towering cane give way to stubble and mulch, which will eventually decompose and nourish the soil for the next cycle. In some regions, farmers burn the fields after harvest to remove remaining trash and control pests, though this practice is increasingly being replaced by more sustainable methods. The scale of sugarcane production is staggering. In Brazil alone, more than 700 million tons are harvested annually, much of it destined for both sugar and ethanol production. India, the world's second-largest producer, relies on millions of smallholder farmers, many of whom use a combination of manual and mechanized methods. Across Asia, Africa, and Australia, sugarcane fields stretch across vast landscapes, feeding local economies and supporting millions of jobs. This global effort is driven by the simple, universal desire for sweetness, a taste that has shaped cultures, economies, and histories for centuries. The journey from field to table involves countless steps, each requiring skill, technology, and dedication. The machines that make it possible to harvest 1.9 billion tons each year are the product of decades of innovation, designed to tackle the unique challenges of sugarcane farming. Looking ahead, the industry continues to evolve. Researchers are developing new cane varieties that are more resistant to drought, pests, and disease, while engineers are creating even more efficient harvesters that minimize waste and maximize yield. Digital platforms allow farmers to share information, track prices, and coordinate logistics, making the supply chain more transparent and resilient. At the heart of it all are the farmers, men and women who rise before dawn, who watch the skies and read the soil, who adapt to changing conditions and persevere through adversity. Their work sustains an industry that touches every corner of the globe, from the bustling cities of Asia to the remote villages of Africa. The sweet reward of their labor is enjoyed in countless forms, from simple table sugar to the myriad confections, beverages, and foods that brighten our days. The process of growing and harvesting sugarcane is a testament to human ingenuity, a blend of tradition and technology that continues to push the boundaries of what is possible. Machines have made it possible to feed the world's appetite for sugar, but behind every harvest are the people who make it happen. Their skill, knowledge, and determination ensure that year after year, the fields yield their bounty and the world enjoys the fruits of their labor. In summary, harvesting 1.9 billion tons of sugarcane by machine is a monumental achievement. It begins with the careful cultivation of the crop, continues through months of attentive management, and culminates in a swift, coordinated harvest using some of agriculture's most advanced equipment. From the fields to the mills, every step is optimized for efficiency, quality, and sustainability. The result is a supply of sugar that supports economies, fuels industries, and delights consumers worldwide. As technology continues to advance and farmers embrace new methods, the story of sugarcane will only grow sweeter, proving that when innovation meets tradition, there is no limit to what can be achieved.